Before this video begins, I just released a brand new live action channel if you're interested. Link in the description. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to We're Here and We're Talking. That's what's going on.
Hello.
We got Dom here.
It's me. That's what we be doing.
Yeah, me and Dom are going to be talking about sports.
Sports and injuries, I guess. Are you an athletic kind of person?
I like to consider myself like relatively active like now in my early 20s, but like when I was younger, there was definitely a solid period where I was just like, man, I should probably like maybe
move around,
work out or something. Yeah, like maybe do anything. I went to a small private school. I've mentioned it in videos before. So the only sports that our school had, no lie, was volleyball and track and field. That was it.
Basketball? I feel like soccer?
Nope. In 7th grade, I thought, well, I'm gonna do modified track and field. But at that time, like that's when my metabolism like wasn't my best friend anymore, and like I was probably eating things I didn't know were bad for me. So it was a little chunky. So I remember like I specifically told my track and field coach, I was like, hey, I'm only gonna wanna do a 100-meter dash, because like if I don't do that, like I'm not gonna be able to like, yeah, I won't be able to do it. You know, by the time the 3rd track meet came around, like the coach like walks up to me and goes, hey, Nate, you're gonna do the 400-meter dash.
Didn't even ask you?
No, he didn't even ask me. He was like,
you've been promoted.
I literally was like, I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, I already signed you up. And I was like, okay, I guess there's nothing else to really do here then.
Thanks, coach. So he put you in 400 without training for it?
Yeah. So like
You're on. Get in there.
Yep. You know, the race starts, the gun fires, we're all running. I am like so in dead last. Like it is comical to the point where I start to get emotional and I'm like, you know what? I'm not finishing this race because I can't. And I just like walk off the field and just start crying. The judges or coaches or whatever are like, you gotta finish the race. And I was like, I don't want it.
Is your boy okay?
I remember getting in my car and crying to my dad, and I was like, I didn't want to do it. I told him the 100-meter, and it was like so embarrassing. It's like I was like maybe 100 meters away, so I was like already almost done.
Oh, so you got that far.
But I was so in dead last that I just gave up.
Okay. You just didn't want it. When did this happen? I'd say it was like 2016. So I'm not in school at this point, right? But my girlfriend was at her school. I found out that they hosted this event called Humans versus Zombies. It's a role-playing game where some students can sign up to be like humans or zombies. Pretty much a game of tag. It's like a week-long game, and there is no downtime. The game is always on, but there are safe zones, obviously. And the second year, we're like, we kind of want a taste of what the zombie life is like, right? So the way we differentiate between the players is the zombies wear a headband, and then the humans wear one on their arm. I try to find a good spot where I could kind of ambush someone, and I hid in this entrance door of like one of the adjacent buildings. I'm just like camping there. It's kind of cringe too, because I'm just like this guy in like a headband waiting by the door, waiting for anyone with an armed banana to pass by. I obviously don't look like I go to this school. I eventually catch one walking in. The way this entrance worked is there's like this short flight of stairs, and I was just so eager to get this tag because the guy was not looking around, right? So I just leaped. I wasn't even looking at the ground. I was just looking at my target. I was locked in, so I was just airborne and not even in like a form where I should be able to like tuck and roll this landing. I kind of landed in like a sideways trajectory into the ground.
That shot from iCarly of like Gibby just falling from the ceiling. Like,
yeah, I'm just like on the ground, folded like an omelet. The guy doesn't even notice, right?
You didn't even notice you at all? You're just like, oh, there's a guy.
It's like, yeah.
What did you end up doing?
So this is still during school hours, so I'm just on the ground, and people are like walking by, like, what just happened? What's that guy doing? I had to just like crawl back up the staircase because I was so embarrassed.
Some guy walks by like, aren't you in my physics class? You're like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. So I look at my ankle and it's not good. So I went to the hospital and they said it was just a sprain.
Am I good to play tomorrow?
I did actually.
Did you really?
The next day. Yeah.
Late teens, early 20s, I got into Ultimate Frisbee. Have you played Ultimate Frisbee?
No, but I have a friend that got really injured. He just got like tackled and his ribs broke because he collided with someone.
Oh my god, dude! If you guys don't know how Ultimate Frisbee works, it's essentially like football, but once you like grab the frisbee, you can't move. So it's like a passing game until you get to the end zone, and that's when you get a point. We had been playing Ultimate Frisbee like every Monday night, and there was a guy that used to come. His name was Voon, and this dude is like the Michael Jordan of Ultimate Frisbee. I want this guy to think I'm cool.
Yeah, I want to be worthy.
There was one day where Voon was on my team, and like as soon as Voon's on your team, you're like, all right, we're good. But still, like,
you don't want to disappoint him, right? You don't want to.
Exactly. We start off the the game and I just book it. I'm just running and running and running to their end zone. And he just bombs this thing. And it's me and one other guy. And this guy is like Wolverine if he was like a real person.
Oh, God.
So I'm running. This frisbee's in the air. He's like chasing after me.
You
I'm
can
like,
hear him growling.
Yo, literally, I could. And I was terrified. And I end up like jumping with one hand in the air. And then he also jumps. So we're both of our hands are out there. I'm able to catch it. I do like a barrel roll and like get back up. He like slams on the ground. And like Voon's like all the way down at our end zone. Like, yeah, like running towards me.
Yeah,
Like,
Dad's proud of me. Growing up, when, you know, you'd sometimes see a kid walk into class with a cast, it's like, oh, dude, what happened? You know, it's like, honestly, I was kind of jealous. Like, maybe it's because they were getting
Yeah,
all
dude.
the attention. I don't know.
I was like 11 or 12. Like I fell into like a thorn bush and I came into school the next day and there was like cuts all over my face and I looked awesome, but it just like hurt. And they're like, what happened? And I was like, you should see the other guy.
The other guy, what did you fight? Like a cat, man?
Yeah, it's just a bush.
Have you ever gotten in a fight?
No, man. The most like fighting we had at our private school was like, your name's Swoosh, that's stupid, and you make cartoons and no one likes them. And I'm like, geez, man,
Holy.
what'd I do to you? One thing my dad wanted me to get into when I was younger was baseball, because back in his day, the 60s and 70s, like they had like the good old American baseball. So like we would sometimes go to like this baseball field to practice. Like one day it was like me, him, my brother, and my brother's like classmate or something. And my dad was pitching. My brother, Justin, was the ump or whatever. Like he was like there to catch the ball. The neighbor was hitting the ball. I'm probably out there like with a glove, like, I don't know what I'm doing. The kid like hits the ball, throws the bat and starts running, and the metal bat decks my brother in the nose.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Bing, punk, like just started.
Hit him in the face.
He always had the face, dude. I remember being like a kid and standing up and being like, God, that's not me, you know?
Kids being dumb is just kids being dumb, right? I said this story before where I think I was in kindergarten and I was in class and a kid like just stood up and was leaning on his desk. I just had like the impulse to like stab his ass like with my pencil, but I did it in a way where like the
Yes,
pointy
dude.
end was in my hand, and then I just got pencil lead in my hand. Like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Did you ever do self-defense like taekwondo or karate?
Back in November, I was visiting James and he was like, yeah, I got a boxing lesson if you want to do it with me. And I
He
was
sparred
like,
with you?
yeah, I sparred with him. And his coach was like, don't hit Nate because like he doesn't know how to box. So it was mainly just like me hitting the other ones out. And I just like, every finished up, I was like, man, if you told me like 8 years ago, I'll be like,
I get to punch James.
I remember I got home and I was like, with all my friends because like I thought that I was like cool for taking one boxing
Yeah,
lesson,
yeah.
to the point where I was at my friend Frank's house and his cousin Kyle comes over, and Kyle's like 6'1", kind of like a bigger, heavier dude. And he's like, Nate, you want to box, man? And I was like, Kyle, I don't know. He's like, no, come on. I was like, okay.
You've convinced me.
We go downstairs. Frank gives me and Kyle both boxing gloves. It was so unfair.
Is he an experienced boxer?
Like, yeah, he's done martial arts, and he's also like 2.5 Nate's bigger than me, so he's just like decking me in the ribs. I'm like, ugh, ugh. Okay, I was like, okay, Kyle, I think I'm done.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I like, went upstairs and like Frank's parents were like, you guys like having fun down there? And I was like, yeah, we're good. I'm fine. Just so dumb. Well, thank you, Dom. Thank you for joining me and telling us about all of your stories. Let me know if you get any more ankle injuries and how that goes.
I'm all out of ankles.
Yeah, just no more.
Yeah.